And on Gridiron TV, I'm delighted to be joined by Shane Prosser. Shane has been with the Bristol Aztecs, has also been a junior national champion, is currently with the Bristol Academy PRIDE. On top of that, Shane, welcome and join us on Gridiron TV.
Thanks for having me.
But on top of that, you're just back from San Antonio. I believe you were involved in the FBU Europe.
Yep, that's correct.
And how was it for yourself? Did you enjoy that? Was that quite a good experience for yourself?
It was a fantastic experience. I mean, it was great being around so many great coaches and great players for Europe.
And what do you mean? Obviously, you were playing as well as coaching. Is that right? I mean, what did you learn and take away from the week you were over there?
I was just coaching. I wasn't playing actually, but I mean, I just learned really the details that make the difference between being great and being good. You know, and small little things that you don't really think about every time, and you really should be putting into practice every time. And
I mean, it seems to be quite a unique opportunity for someone, with no disrespect, that your young age, that you've got into coaching, and you know, certainly what I've been hearing from Ben Herod and the guys down in Bristol, you know, great things about to come from you, and to be involved in such an esteemed event like the FBU All-Star Games, you know, that kind of says a lot for their confidence in you as a young coach.
Yeah. I mean, I can't thank the guys involved enough to really give me the opportunity and all that kind of thing, and it really exposed me to so many great coaching events at such a young age.
I mean, obviously San Antonio was quite a big event, and obviously the European team came second with obviously the first loss to Canada, and obviously winning the second game against Mexico. What did you say to the guys when they lost the first game? What was the kind of atmosphere like when that happened?
I mean, like, the guys were a little bit disheartened with, you know, how the second half went, but as a coach and staff, we just did the film review, picked them up, went straight back on it. We pretty much forgot about it after the film review, turned our attention to Mexico. And
what did you say to Mexico about the Mexico game to get them pumped up and to give them the confidence? I mean, obviously they've got the ability, but also give them the confidence to bounce back.
Well, we told them, you know, they're used to the speed of the game now. They've played Canada, who had some pretty special players. And we expected Mexico to be tough, hard hitting, so we just warned them for that. And we just really emphasised the fact that they know the scheme, they know what they're doing, and they're good enough to play on this level.
I mean, obviously they came up against a very good, Canadian side, and a team that's been together for over a year and had so many practices. Unlike Team Europe, you don't really sort of met up over in San Antonio. Was the pace of that next stage or that next level of football? Was that what kind of hit them hard? Did they expect it to be that fast, or were they caught, unprepared? Or
I think the speed of the game shocked quite a few of them. I mean, especially the technique. I'm not sure many of them knew just how fast the running backs were going to hit the holes and how fast they need to get off blocks and all those kind of things, really.
And how did you then try and adjust to obviously matching the Canadian side? What did you do, and what did you install and practice to try and say, right, look, these guys are a lot quicker off the mark than we are. What did you do to install that then? Did you maybe change things up in regards to what you had prepared for before?
Yeah, we tweaked our scheme a little bit, especially defensively. That's where I was. And really just put our players in the best position to succeed and with their skill set that we learnt from game one.
Well, on top of obviously you coaching with Team Europe Select side, you're also the Bristol Academy Community League commissioner as well. How did it come about, you becoming the commissioner of that league?
Really, Ben Hurd, the director of the league, decided it was best to go with a younger face, as it were, someone the kids could relate to. And being quite young, that kind of worked to my advantage, and not being like too far away from my teenage years myself, and kind of relate to how the kids can progress through the system and help them out.
I mean, obviously, the community league is all about getting kids involved and young athletes to try and get them off the streets and get them into sport, which is always an excellent thing to do. But American football gives them something different, doesn't it? And what I heard from Ben and what I heard from Cecil Martin was the huge response that you've had at practice from all these young athletes turning up and wanting to take part.
Oh yeah, I mean, at our first taste today, we had about 80 kids show up. We've had, since then, the interest have grown. We've had 190 kids contact us with the will to play, as it were. And so many of these kids are so excited to stick the pads on the helmets this Saturday and really get after it. I mean,
Sorry,
carry on.
No, I'll let you finish.
yeah, so many of these kids are just so excited to get stick the pads on, get hitting, and our Facebook group is literally not a day goes by where I don't get about 20 to 25 notifications about people posting in the group and whatnot. I have to charge my phone at least 3 times a day.
But that's always a good thing though, and it's fantastic, and it says a lot for what you guys have got down in Bristol at the moment, where kids are encouraged by the level of football that they're playing as well. That you see a lot of youth and junior teams come up to play national championships, and I mean obviously you must be doing something right in Bristol in regards to getting these kind of numbers through the door, getting them involved in a brand new sport as well. I mean, how are you going about promoting the Bristol Academy Communities League?
I think the first thing is our image. You see from our Facebook group and our website that we really have really great designs that was done by one of our former junior players before my Tom Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really good graphic designer, and he did all our designs, and of course, the kids love those. I mean, every day we get a question like, "Are the kits really going to look like that?" And yes, yes, they are. They're really going to look pretty close to what we've published.
I mean, you see the kits, and the kits look absolutely fantastic. It's something you would find from an NCAA college team.
Yeah, that was the idea to it. We wanted to make it look as professional and as NFL-like as possible.
Mm-hmm.
A part of the plan moving forward is to create video highlights every week for the games, and really just hit the social media with all that now, with Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything.
I mean, obviously, you look at the internet just now, and it's such a great way of advertising and getting bodies in place. Now, I mean, have you ever thought about maybe streaming games live? Is that something you maybe thought about as well?
We would love to, if we have facilities to do so.
Mm-hmm.
That's something we're definitely going to be looking forward to looking into in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Probably off the cards for this year, but next year I don't see why we couldn't do it.
No, absolutely, and I think what needs to change in British football in general is certainly the streaming of games, and if we can stream games more, we can get people more involved. People across the world can see it, like we did with Britball when we got 35 countries, and it's fantastic to see, particularly the junior game as well, got just as much hits as the senior Premier final. So I certainly think it's something that helps sort of grow the sport. Now at the moment, the league's not quite started yet. You've got up and coming trials. I believe it's this weekend. Is that right?
Yeah. Our first kitted practice is this Saturday, where we'll teach all the kids the fundamentals of tackling, blocking, running with the football, and then we'll move into offense and defensive indie.
And obviously, if there's any kids obviously listening to this interview with yourself who want to get involved, what can they expect on the day? I mean, obviously, it's not just turning up and hitting each other. I mean, obviously, I'm sure there's a lot more involved in that.
Yeah, they can expect to obviously be registered, get his helmet, shoulder pads. They can expect to have a bunch of photos taken by one of the photographers around. We're going to teach them all the proper technique, from stance to catching the ball and running with the ball, throwing the football. Literally just building it from the ground up.
So basically, they're going to get the fundamentals from the first off,
Yeah.
and hopefully you'll see a good response from that. And I know myself, when I started American football, when you got taught the fundamentals, the first thing I wanted to do was put the pads on and go and hit somebody. But that's not the case. We've got to make sure that there's safety first.
Yeah, that's correct. We're going to make sure all the players are safe before they engage in any kind of contact drills.
Absolutely brilliant, and certainly we've got a promotional video we're going to show the viewers in a second, but certainly if anybody wants to get involved, or if anybody wants to contact yourself, Shane, how can they go about that?
They can do it through visiting our website. That's www.americanfootballleague.co.uk. Under the tab Join a Team, there's a fill out this form link. Just hit that and that'll come straight through to me. We'll sign you up to our database and I'll get back to you.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, before we go, we'll leave everybody with the promotional video for the the Bristol Academy Communities League. Shane, thanks for joining us on Good Iron TV, and wish you all the very best.
Okay, thanks.
Go, get back in there.